Now then guys, welcome back to the George Scaife LFC channel. In this video, I'm ranking 15 Liverpool players from best to worst based on individual performances so far this season. I've left out a few players who I don't believe have played enough minutes or been consistent in the team, therefore I can't get a great kind of understanding of how good they actually have been. So the players I've missed out is anyone under 500 minutes played for us this season. That includes Isak, that includes Frimpong, and that includes Chiesa. If I was to rank Chiesa in this based on a pound for pound kind of metric, Chiesa will be top 5 easily, probably top 3 based on minute per goal, whatever you want to say. He's been great in the time he's been in the team. Isak less so, very disjointed, obviously trying to get to full fitness, hence why I'm not putting him in this. And Frimpong as well, obviously out now, has been for some time, and again, in and out the team, sort of Bradley. So they're the 3 big players missing, obviously Endo, Gomez as well. Anyone under 500 minutes I'm not going to rank. I don't think it's fair. In at 15 for me, it's really harsh this. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Please do let me know. I've gone for Milos Kerkez in 15th. Last. I mean, that sounds terrible to say. I do think the bottom 2 are bottom 2. I think they're locked in at bottom 2 for me. I've put him just below my 14th. Solely because he's been dropped from the team. The starting team. 4 games in a row. Andy Robertson's played 4 games in 2 weeks. Andy Robertson's meant to be, like, washed, is what everyone says, or finished. Like, he's not this marauding fullback he used to be. He's an old player who nearly went in the summer. It's like, well, if you've been dropped to that, what he's meant to be, everyone says Robertson is, which he isn't, by the way, that says a lot. Kerkez has been signed and then immediately dropped to the bench. I mean, that says a lot for me. I don't believe he's started very well. I think the tone was set straight away with the Bournemouth game, the Newcastle game, and you kind of assume, well, like, he's going to kick on. Surely he's only young. You give him a few games as a grace period to transition. The problem is he's come from the Premier League. In a team, by the way, in Bournemouth, who like to play a similar kind of football to Liverpool do in terms of pressing, in terms of being on the front foot and getting all over their opposition. Kerkez going from a team like that to a team like this shouldn't be too hard in the same league. For example, Frimpong is coming from a different league altogether, so there's more of a reasoning behind his weaker performances, I will say one thing. The reason I've got him last is absolutely hindered by the position and the role he's playing in. Kerkez, for the majority of the time he's played, has tucked into a back 3. That's not on. Kerkez has not come to Liverpool to play in a back 3. Robertson maybe more so. It's not all Kerkez's fault is what I'm saying. It's based on a lot of things. Based on new signing, based on not settling too well, based on everyone around him not being great either. He's coming into a very unsettled team right now, and more so than all, he's playing in a different role to what he should be playing. So there are all my variables, there's all my reasoning as to why I've put Kerkez here. It's not solely his fault, in my opinion. At 14 for me is Konate. I think he's been marginally above. He's kept his place. I mean, Gomez could have come in, to be fair, at any point, and it wouldn't have been a massive problem. The thing with Konate is he never has 7 out of 10 games. He's either a 4 or a 9. I look at games like Arsenal, I thought he had a good game. Man United, we were awful on that day, but he was probably one of our best players, if not our best player in that game, and we lost. It's like, he has these games where he just sticks out. Couple of Champions League games have been really good, but other times, like the Newcastle game was awful, Bournemouth was awful, Crystal Palace, it was awful. That game previously, by the way, Real Madrid and Aston Villa, good, very good. Played a big part in helping us keep 2 clean sheets back to back. That can't be missed out of this conversation. Credit where it's due, but the bad performances have really overshadowed the good for me. Man City was god-awful, in my opinion. There's about 5, 4 or 3 out of 10 performances there. That's not on. That's why he's in 14 for me. I believe he'll bounce back. I believe he's the character to turn it round, but it needs to happen now. In at 13 for me, I've gone for Conor Bradley. This is a mixture of 2 things. One, game time. He has been rotated quite heavily in this team, obviously with Frimpong. Szoboszlai played at right back a couple games as well, so that's a large part of it. Obviously, goes without saying, he was fantastic against Real Madrid, arguably performance of the season from any Liverpool player. You've got to say that game there, up against Vinny, dealt with him so well. He was our man of the match by miles in that game for me, but he's had some bad ones as well, notably the previous game. Literally yesterday as I'm filming this, Doku tore him a new one. Doku battered him, in my opinion. He immediately cancels out that performance against Madrid, right? Bradley, I love him. He's one of my favourite players in the team. However, I do believe he's the kind of character, again with Konate, to bounce back. He's shown it before. I like the idea of Bradley having played a few games in a row there. I thought against Real Madrid, he was amazing. Aston Villa, good. Man City, poor. So it's a mixed bag, really. I've got him in 13 for that reason. And the not playing too many games, I'd say. McAllister next. It's tough to rank this. So McAllister is an interesting one in 12 for me. Obviously, against Real Madrid, against Aston Villa, he was arguably our best player in both games. You can make a great argument for that. Over the both games, the 2 games, probably was he our best player? Certainly maybe best midfield player. I just thought he did everything and more. He showed absolutely why we all rate him so much. He just turned it round. In that Man City game, that was awful. I think that was the reasoning for that was probably just too many games. Again, he played 4 games in 2 weeks. He played against Palace in Cup, don't forget. Midweek weekend, so maybe it was catching up with him. After a very disjointed pre-season, he arrived into pre-season very late. He was almost treating the first 4 games as pre-season, getting up to full fitness. Had a really poor first 4, 5, 6 games. So that's why he's so low for me. Granted, them 2 performances were great in the previous month or so. I think the start of the season was kind of that bad. You've got to bring him down there. I found Bradley and McAllister very hard to rank for them reasons alone. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Please do let me know. And if you're new, by the way, please do subscribe. We're very close, I think 22k, which is crazy, maybe 23. So please do get involved. This is hopefully the only place you need to be for Liverpool content over the season. There's live streams after every game, my raw match reaction. So please do get involved in that. And at 11, I've actually gone for Mamardashvili here. Mamardashvili's had some great moments. I think he's shared game time with Alisson now, pretty much bang on half each. He's done a good job since he's come in. Considering the shoes he's maybe filling as well, arguably best keeper in the world, it's a lot more noticeable when you come into the team. Replacing a world-class goalkeeper, you've got to raise your level even more so, and I believe he has done in certain games. Made a great save against Real Madrid to keep the clean sheet with his feet from, was it Bellingham on the left? Made a great save against, I want to say Morgan Rogers, I don't know who it was. That save, Villa, top left corner, he dives over with his right arm. It's a brilliant save, and if that goes in, we could be talking about a different result. He's made some big saves. Distribution-wise, I've not particularly been impressed, I've got to say. I'm not actually sure what foot he is, which is never a good sign. That can definitely be improved. I think maybe some small mistakes. I mean, the big one, obviously, is that Man City penalty. He gave that penalty away. I need to mention as well, Konate quickly. That were his fault, in my opinion. I believe he ran out for no reason. That's his fault. Yeah, Mamardashvili gave the penalty away, as in give the contact away, but we shouldn't be in there in the first place because Konate's rushed out like a bloody idiot. Mamardashvili in 11. In at 10, I've gone for Florian Wirtz. I've gone for Wirtz in 10. I believe he's been very average, to be honest with you. I believe he's been more towards the good level than bad. I do not believe Wirtz has been bad. And rival fans are naturally saying he's bad because he was signed for 100 and whatever it was million, and he's only scored a handful of goals, contributions, and it's like, you expect more. That's why I've got him 10th. If you sign him for that much money, I get the first 5, 6 games as a grace period, you're adjusting to the league and the physicality. But we're talking on the 10th of November here, and he's still not adjusted to that physicality. Against Man City, it was so obvious to see. He played off the left there. After a really positive performance, arguably his best of the season against Madrid, off the left. That was his best game, and that shows exactly what he can do. But we've not really seen that much. And for a player with that valuation, you expect a bit more, don't you? You do. I don't think he's been terrible. I think he's made some great balls this season. That miss from Szoboszlai in the previous games, the miss from Salah against, was it Chelsea? There's so many chances you could look at with Wirtz. He could have got an assist there. He could have scored there. And his teammates ultimately have kind of not nodded it in or let him down in the final stage. So there's context around it. Performance-wise, he's been good in certain games, but really bad in certain games. I thought Man City was bad. I thought Newcastle was bad. Yeah, he's got some adjusting to do still. So that's why I've got him in 10. I certainly don't think he's been bad, though. I just need to see more, certainly in the final third. But granted, yeah, he's doing all the right things and some players are missing the chances, so context around it. In at 9 for me is Andy Robertson. Robertson's done well, I'd say, over the last month, certainly. Probably been his best month this year. He has come in to replace a left-back we signed from another team. Arguably left back of the season last year, and Robertson's going, well, listen, I'm boss. I'm the mainstay around here. You've come into my team, so I'm going to take my position back, and credit for him for doing so. That's exactly the competition we need, and I wish we had it in some other areas of the pitch, I'll be honest with you. Robertson has done well, pretty solid defensively. He's made some mistakes over the last 4 games, I'll say. However, again, he's at just 4 games catching up with him. He's played 4 games in 2 weeks there. This player's meant to be finished, or whatever you want to call him. He's not at all, but I think we have overplayed him and maybe ran our luck as far as we could take that with that Man City start, because that was that first goal for me. Maybe not his fault. Look at Konate in the box, could he have dealt with Haaland better? But Robertson gives Nunes who crossed it, so much time. It's like simples. That's a basic error, that, in my opinion. Van Dijk was saying, get out to him as well. I think they swapped, didn't they? Van Dijk and Robbo, just at the wrong time. But Robbo overall's been okay this season. If you'd have told me at the start of the season, I'd be having Robertson 9th in my list. I'd be like, well, that's a decent season, that. Considering I thought Kirk would be amazing, or never let Robertson have a sniff. It's been the exact opposite. Robertson's been good this season. I put him in 9. In at 8 for me is Mo Salah. Ultimately, it's a very Salah thing to do this because he's not been playing very well, yet he's scored more than most on this, and that's kind of why he's in 8th. I don't believe his performances have been good enough. I'll start by saying that. I really don't. Certainly not to the level of the last 7 years. Like, if you took this season so far and stretched it and projected the rest of the season and predicted, this would probably rank bottom 2 in terms of his seasons ever. Maybe even the worst. Camera's just turned off. Excellent. Don't think anyone disagrees with that. And it's not a reflection on him as a player or his history, what he's done for the club. Of course not. People often assume that. Me saying Salah's been poor means they must think I hate him. No, it's the entire opposite. I love him. I've got 2 shirts in that drawer there with Salah on the back. I love him. But this season, not particularly been it. I want to see more. I don't believe he's had a good game when we've had a bad game. All of Salah's good games have come when the team have played well. I don't believe we've played poor this season and he's stood out. And that's not... I want more, I've got to say. I have got him in 7 though because of the... In 8, because of the goals. But that's about as far as I can go. Sorry. And at 7, Alisson. I mean, I'd just go back to that Palace game. What the hell? I mean, that game should have been 4-0 at half-time. He probably gets in 7, actually, just for that game alone. Genuinely. I think he's been good this season. Mamardashvili, I think, has been maybe slightly worse. Maybe some more errors than Alisson. That's the most basic way of analysing that, I think. And I do generally just think Alisson's a better goalkeeper. Certainly on the ball. I'd say that's certainly on the ball. In at 6, this one might be controversial, mainly because of the minutes he's played. He's not played an awful amount of football. And I think I cut it off at 500 minutes. I think Jones played as 650, 700 or something like that, which is 1,000 less than some of these players. But I've gone for Jones, as I say. Jones in 6. I think he's been really good this season. All 6 of these, in fact, 7, I'd include Alisson, have all been really good. Like for the most of the game time they've had, has all been really positive. And I think Jones, for those 2 games he came in, played back-to-back, was just fantastic in those games. Was it Frankfurt? I mean, what the hell? That's a proper performance, that. After a really kind of turbulent period for Liverpool as well, he comes in to settle the ship. He does the simple things better than anyone, in my opinion, in our team right now. He's so comfortable on the ball. He backs his own ability. A really composed figure, calm head in a kind of wind of chaos, whatever you want to say. Jones has impressed me so far, so I'm going to go in 6, and I think this has been a really solid season for him. In at 5... I'm just going to grab a little drink of my lemon and lime here, just to keep this video ticking, because I'm struggling here. In at 5, I've gone for Cody Gakpo, and I think this might take the brunt of the comments, and that's fine. I entirely believe this. I'm not saying this for views or clicks. I'd never even think about doing that. I think Gakpo's been our 5th best player this year. He is so overhated for no reason. Diaz was the same. I think, look at Diaz now at Bayern Munich. Fantastic. A lot of people wanted him out. Now you're all saying, well, why did we sell Diaz? You wanted him out, you idiot. You were the one online bullying him out. What do you mean? And people are doing the same with Gakpo now. Gakpo's been very good this year. I get he's very one-dimensional. I get he's a one-trick pony. And I'd like to see him have more variance, take his man on the outside. Maybe past the Kirkes, I think, when he's overlapping on Robbo, and I think that's a very obvious criticism to make. But what he is doing is he's cutting in on his right foot, his biggest strength, using his biggest strength. I don't think, for example, Salah is, and some other players aren't as well. Gakpo is doing it consistently well as well. Players aren't stopping it. Fullbacks aren't stopping it. And Gakpo, the only thing stopping really is, you've got to say the how good the shot is. And Gakpo has scored some big goals for us this year, I'd say. And he's doing some good things in that final third. I don't think many players are. I don't think Salah has. I don't think Isak has at times. I don't think Wirtz has at times. I think Gakpo has. I think he protects the ball really well. I think, he's had some bad games. I think, was it Chelsea was really poor? I think Aston Villa, when the whole team was playing really well, I don't think he particularly was. I think he was probably the weakest player in that game. But other than that, there's some really good games this year, Gakpo. And he's getting overhated because he goes one way and he's not very fast, he's not like Jeremy Doku. Of course he's not. You know what you're going to get with Gakpo. But when the team's working around Gakpo, I think you've got a scary footballer there. I do believe that. When you've got them runs in, but them crosses into the back post, them deep crosses. So great. I don't want to end of them. I think Gakpo's been good this year. I don't want to hear none of that slander. In at 4, by the way, I do think there's room for improvement there. If you were ranking Arsenal's top 5, their 5th will definitely be better than our 5th. Man City's 5th will be better than our 5th. Gakpo's in 5th, but it's not like he's been amazing. He's been good, very good. Not been amazing though, has he? That's on the team. That's the standard we've set here. That our 5th best player this year has not even been that good. It's like, what the hell? It doesn't reflect good on us at all. In at 4, I've gone for Virgil van Dijk. You might think that's crazy given the lack of clean sheets, conceding every game. I don't believe he's been at fault for many of them. He definitely has for some. When he was brought out, who was had against Man United, he just jumped out, didn't he? And then he's left so much space back there. At times, maybe caught strolling, dawdling, however you want to say it, taking foot off the gas, lacking concentration. More than other years. I think long ball has been a very obvious criticism with Liverpool. The way he's dealt with a lot of them has been pretty outstanding. Against Newcastle, that performance was outrageous. Individually, he was our best player by miles. Swatting balls away like flies. In the box, you put a ball within 2 metres of him and he's clearing the thing. Goals as well, scoring goals this year for us. Atletico Madrid, big goal. The other day, would have been a big goal, Man City, but it was ruled out. Leader, captain, I find it very hard to put Van Dijk in any list ever. At any point of his Liverpool career, like low down, because he is one of our best players, and he's certainly undroppable. That's one thing we can say about Van Dijk, sorry. And at 3, maybe a surprising 3, maybe going under the radar this year, I think here. I've gone for Ryan Gravenberch. Again, not an unbelievable 3. I think he was better last season, certainly in the first half of the year. That first half of last season was fantastic from Gravenberch. I keep saying Gakpo. A long day this, but Gravenberch has still been good this year. He scored, 2 or 3 goals this year as well. No one's really speaking about that from a number 6 role, if you like to say that. I just think off the ball he's been very good. A lot of the team haven't. I don't think at times he's had the players around him as well helping. I don't think that at all. I think he's been good this year. He's certainly top 5, Gravenberch. In at 2, I've gone for Ekitike. He's been amazing. New signing. I mean, God, if you look at my top 10 there, I've only got 2 new signings in there. One of them's 10th. The other one's Ekitike. He's just been fantastic. A lot of the goals have been kind of him forcing an error or him gambling. He takes his chances. Clinical, mate. Really clinical, and he's kind of feeding off scraps and odds and ends, which, again, is a reflection of how poor we've been as a team right now. Ekitike will be so much better with good players, or informed players around him. I believe he needs someone in front of him to bounce off of. I do believe that. And Isak's obviously a great option. And I think them conversations around having two up top, I think they will come back. They will start re-emerging, especially because we just lost. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Ekitike with someone else up there, it'd be a positive. He's been fantastic this year, but not as good as my number 1. And if this guy isn't your number 1, I don't know who is. It's Dominic Szoboszlai. He's been our best player this year. In fact, I'm not going to speak about Szoboszlai in length. I've done a video maybe 4 or 5 videos back. Please go and watch it. I think it's titled We Need to Speak About Szoboszlai. We do. He's our best player by miles, and he has been this year. Everything good for Liverpool this year. Szoboszlai's there or thereabouts. He's either putting the cross in, he's playing the final pass, he's scoring the goal himself, he's winning the ball back before the goal went in. He's everywhere. Future captain. He's our best player, and that's my number 1. Hope you enjoyed the vid. That was 23 minutes, my voice is really hurting. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Please do let me know, and also subscribe if you did enjoy it, leave a like as well. But make sure more than anything you leave a comment. Get this community going in the comment section. Get involved, mate. International breaks come at the right time for me. Again, I've said that the last 3 times. Not looking good, mate. Get involved. See you later on. Ta-ra, bye.